I need to look here. I need to not look up there. I need to look right here. Is that good? Welcome to this video. We're gonna connect today. What are we talking about? Why am I doing this? I get a lot of questions. I talk to a lot of different people about weight loss and weight gain, and I can't gain weight and I can't lose weight. So we're gonna kind of talk about that today. I'm gonna go through my story, what I've done, and then kind of talk about some things that I've done to do that. So let's go back. Let's go back to when it all began, back in 2015. Now, I'd like to say that I've been exercising consistently since 2015, but I haven't. And so that's on me. I'll take that one. Really, it's only been since the end of 2018. However, the principles that I want to talk about today, I have been doing since 2018. Since 2015. So, May of 2015, I weigh 125 pounds, super scrawny, did not feel confident in myself at all, tried to pretend like I was muscular to make myself feel better. All of it was fake confidence, big insecurities. I'm small, I don't feel good, and I just think I can't gain weight. Just gaining weight, being a big dude, being, not big, I'm not gonna say big, being muscular, being maybe thicker, having some mass about me, just wasn't my thing. Wasn't gonna happen. I had tried eating. I thought I was where I wanted, like, how do I explain it? I thought I was doing the things that I needed to do in order to gain weight. So when I didn't gain weight, I was like, what's wrong? What's happening? Why is this not working? So 125 pounds. And for all of those who wonder, I'm only 5'8", 5'9" with shoes. I tell people I'm 5'9" with shoes because when I'm out and about, I am 5'9". So I'm 5'9" with shoes, okay? It's not a touchy subject. Stop asking me about it. So 5'8", 5'9", 125 pounds. You can imagine how small I was. Very, very small, very slender, very thin, nothing about me. Couldn't gain weight at all. Spoke to this friend of mine who at the time was pretty experienced into bodybuilding, and he had made really good progress personally, and he was talking to me and I was like, yeah dude, I just can't gain weight. Like, it's just not, the stars for me, it's not in my destiny. Like, I try to eat and I'm doing these things and I'm not gaining weight. And he's like, bull crap. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like, what are you talking about? I am. He's like, you just have to eat more. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I am eating more. And he's just like, if you're not gaining weight, then you're not. And we had a pretty good discussion about that. And he was the first one who really kind of helped me realize that progress in the gym and muscles are really gained in the kitchen, you guys. If you're spending your time in the gym, but you're not eating enough, I'm not gonna say you're wasting your time because I don't wanna be that dogmatic, but if you're not eating, you're not really gonna go anywhere. You may get through a little bit of noob gains, but you're not really gonna get anywhere substantial if you're not eating. It's like trying to drive a car without gas. You're just not gonna go anywhere. The car can be fine-tuned, but if you have no fuel, nothing's gonna be starting that engine. You're not gonna be able to progress. So I was just like, okay, well, this guy seems to think that it's just a matter of eating. And I'm like, well, whatever. I feel like I eat a lot, you know? I was like that skinny guy that's like, oh, no matter how much I eat, I don't gain weight. I'm eating so much and I'm skinny and I don't gain weight. Guys, I was not eating. Compared to what I eat now and what I had to eat to gain weight, I was not freaking eating, okay? So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So I'm like, let's go. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start gaining weight. I'm gonna start freaking eating. So I went to bodybuilding.com. You know, back then was all the rage. I went to bodybuilding.com. Steve Cook found his Big Man on Campus program. That program, I love that program to this day. It was the first true program that I followed exactly. And I went and I researched and looked up his nutrition segment of that program and what he talked about nutrition. I copied his diet. I got it down scheduled. I had everything scheduled. And I started just eating. And I started eating a ton. In my mind, I had to think about it like there's not too much. I can't eat too much. That's how I had to think about it, because if I did, then I'd be like, oh, this is too much. I'm not gonna eat this. Now, I wasn't eating horrible, like I'm not talking about like burgers every day from McDonald's, but I'm talking like when I was feeling like I wanted to be done eating chicken and rice, I had to tell myself no amount is too much. So I started eating. I was going to the gym a lot, you know, 1 to 2 hours each and every day, maybe taking 2 rest days throughout the week, doing Steve Cook's program for you know, Big Man on Campus. And I started gaining weight very slowly. I was eating a ton of food, but I started going from 125, and then the next day I was like, not the next day, two weeks maybe down the road, I was like 127, 128. And in my mind, with my mindset of how I was so caught up, my excuse mentality was, like I'm just 128 because maybe I'm a little water heavy today, or I just ate food, so I've got some food in me, or I haven't pooped yet today, so I'm heavy because of that. Like that's really gonna make a difference. But it didn't go away. I started gaining. I was 128, 129, 130, and I can't. You guys have to realize I was convinced that I could not gain weight. Like I was convinced my body was somehow different from the rest of the world. Somehow I was birthed as a humanoid whose metabolism just didn't work like everyone else's. Like if I ate a bunch of food, it just wasn't gonna gain weight. Those calories were just gonna go somewhere, but not stay on me. Like I had convinced myself that it wasn't possible, like it wasn't a thing. And so when I started putting this to the test and I started seeing progress, my paradigm about the world was shattered and changed about myself. I started seeing progress, and it made all the difference. I slowly started gaining weight. I kept working. I got up to 130, 145, 150, and I was ecstatic. I was belated. To go from 125 up to 150 and to feel that weight being pretty good weight. I'm not gonna say all of it was muscle mass, but there was a lot that I could use stands to have on the rest of my body. It was ecstatic, and the change in my mindset when I realized that I am actually gaining weight, this is possible, made all the difference. Once I realized this is a real thing, I can actually gain weight, I can get bigger, I can feel stronger, I can put on muscle mass. It made all the difference. And again, I'll get to kind of myself right now. I'm not saying, by no means am I huge. I'm still a small guy. I'm 5'8", I weigh about 165 right now. But coming from 125 and going to where I went to before I cut back down to 165, anyone who's struggling needs to feel that. I got up to I bulked, and it took a while. So it took a long time. From 2015 to like 2017, I got up to like 155, maybe 160, kind of stayed around there. And then from 2017 to 2018, 2017 to 2019, like midway through 2019, I went from 160 to 187. So I was 187 pounds. The effort that I had to put in to go from 125 to 150 was way more effort than I had to put in to get from 155, 160 to 187. Now, this is not science. For all of you that are gonna be like, oh, this isn't, I'm not saying this is science. I'm not gonna cite research. I'm not saying that I'm a personal trainer and you need to listen to me because this is proven and all these things. There are interesting studies on it, but there are studies for everything. So correlation isn't causation. But the point that I'm trying to make is I believe that I had a harder time getting from 125 to 150 for two reasons. One, I had not established the habits of eating that I needed to in order to get to 150. I had been living and eating at 125 pounds for 20 years. And I had never experienced what it was like to actually force feed. I had never experienced what it was like to really eat more on a consistent daily basis, more than what my body needed to maintain my weight. So I had not established those patterns of eating. Secondly, I had not ever been at that weight before. So, and this is the part where this is bro science, complete bro science, complete my opinion from my experience. It may all be from habits. I'm better at being disciplined with eating now, but my body, I'd been at 125 my whole life. I'd never been at 150. So being at 125, my body was used to that. And so kind of, it felt like I had to drag my metabolism, my physique, and my body kicking and screaming up to 150. Once I got to 150, 155, it became very easy to maintain that weight. I actually found it rather effortless to maintain 150, when before I had struggled and struggled to get up to 150. Once I got to 150, maintaining that weight was somehow a lot easier. And then going from 150, 160 to 180, it was just clockwork. It was just a matter of, I knew how much I needed to eat, I calculated how much I needed to eat, and I ate that. And I did that every day for 6 or 7 months and gained another 20 pounds. So was up at 180, being 5'8", being almost 190 pounds, you definitely have some on, you know, you've got substance to you. So I was a little bit big, I was strong, but I wanted to be a little bit more lean, and so I started cutting. Now, this was my first experience cutting as well, because I had never needed to cut. When you're 125, most people don't need to cut at 125 unless you're very, very short. So, you know, being at 187, I started cutting, and I realized that it was the exact same method, it was the exact same math, the process was the same, it was just reversed. So instead of eating more, I just started eating less, and I consistently did that every day, ate less than what I had calculated my body maintained, and I lost weight. I got all the way down, I cut all the way down to 154. So I basically cut 30 pounds down from maybe May of 2019 to the end of summer 2019, so that's like 4 or 5 months, I cut about 30 pounds. I lost some strength. It was my first cut. I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm not gonna say I know what I'm doing all that much now. I definitely know more. I lost a little bit of strength, and since the bottom of my cut at 154 till what I am right now, about 160, 161, I have been working to gain my strength back, and it's been like 3 or 4 months, and I've done well. I've done really well at gaining my strength back, and I'm in a good place right now. So, the reason that I'm kind of going over this, I touched on it in the beginning, is I talk to a lot of people who are interested in lifting weights, who have asked me what I eat and things like that. I tend to relate a little bit more to guys that are smaller, obviously, because I am, and I definitely was even more in the past. I relate to guys that are either short and skinny or tall and skinny. It's really just super skinny guys who don't feel like they can gain weight. Ask me a lot of questions about why that is. I've had people also ask me who are a little bit overweight how they can lose weight, and the process is the same. So the main point about this, and this is something that I needed to have someone tell me this, my bodybuilder friend, I needed him to tell me this: you are not an exception. Your body is not an exception. You're not this anomaly that can't lose weight or can't gain weight. It's not like everyone else out there who's gaining or losing weight is doing it magically. There are people that are more inclined to one or the other. Our metabolisms are different, our genetics, our makeup is different, our bodies are different. Your body is unique, but the way that your body gains and loses weight is not unique. It is not, in most cases, right? Now don't freak out and be like, well, I've got this condition where I can't, you know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the majority of people can gain and lose weight like the rest of us can. You can gain and lose weight no matter who you are. And it's very simple. Ready? This is how it goes. Right here, this is what your body burns in calories every day. If you eat this much, you're gonna stay the same weight. If you eat this many calories day after day, you're gonna slowly gain weight. If you eat this many calories day after day, you're gonna slowly lose weight. Okay, that's it. We can complicate it. We can make all these excuses. Well, I'm gonna go on a keto diet, and I'm gonna start drinking all this detox tea, and I'm gonna go on a juice. It's whether it works or not is based and founded in that simple fact. You eat more than you're burning, you gain. You eat less than you're burning, you lose. That's how it works. So if you're not gaining weight, it's not because your metabolism's just so fast. It's not because, for whatever reason you can think of, the only reason, I'm gonna say 8 out of 10 times, the only reason that you're not gaining or losing weight is you're not eating enough or you're eating too much. And you need to change that. Fitness and cardio and all those things can help, but the amount of calories you burn on a 1 mile run compared to the donut you might eat afterwards to reward yourself is gonna do nothing. Now, if that's why you go on a run, to enjoy eating donuts, that's awesome. Do you. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel comfortable. But if you're eating donuts to reward yourself after your run and then you're wondering why you're not losing weight, stop eating the donut then. If you want to be losing weight. If you want to gain weight and you're a guy who's skinny and you want to get into the gym and you want to make massive gains, bro, and you're finishing your workout going super hard and you come home and you have a cup of chocolate milk and you don't eat anything the rest of the night, which I actually did. I actually did that. I used to drink a cup of sugary chocolate milk and think, oh man, like it's a chocolate shake, like it's a protein shake, I feel good. No. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough. It's that simple fact. You need to be eating more. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough, so eat more. Now, there are things that we can talk about as far as getting into the habits of eating more. Getting on a meal plan is important. Tracking, at least doing some kind of tracking, whether you do it on MyPlate or MyFitnessPal or wherever you guys track your calories, trying to track your calories. The effort is what's important there. You're not gonna be perfect at it in the beginning, but it's still important that you at least work to try and track your calories and give it some time too. That's what I also want to talk about that. If you're eating 2 days and you're like, I haven't gained weight after 2 days of eating, give it some time, especially if you're gaining weight in the beginning. This is the first time you're putting your body through this. Your body hasn't done this before. You haven't done this before. You're establishing habits, so give it some time. If you're after 2 days, if you're not where you want to be, like, come on, relax. And consistency is the name of the game in this. Just be consistent, day out, day after day, day after day. Be in the range of calories you want to be in order to gain or lose weight. So if you're not gaining weight as a guy, you're just not eating enough. Go back, calculate what you're eating. Be honest with yourself if you're following your meal plan. It's very easy to have a meal plan and then never actually follow it to the T. You know, those last 300 or 400 calories of the day, you just don't eat. Well, if you do that day after day after day, you can go look at your meal plan and be like, but my meal plan's 3,000 calories or 2,500 calories, but I'm not gaining weight. Well, you may actually be only eating 2,000 calories or 1,900 or 2,300, or you may not actually be at your goal if you're not following that meal plan. So actually track what you're eating along with making a meal plan. That's gonna really be where you see progress. The other point is, guys, excuses, you gotta just leave them. Just stop justifying to yourself why something is happening. If something is happening, it's most likely a result of something you're doing. So if you're not gaining weight, it's not because you just can't gain weight. Get rid of that excuse. It's most likely because you're not eating enough. If you're not losing weight, it's not because you just can't lose weight. It's because you're eating too much or you're not exercising enough. So try exercising a little bit more and try dropping your calories a little bit. Please do not crash diet. Please do not starve yourself. That is not a healthy way to go about losing weight. It's not consistent and it's not maintainable. You cannot maintain a crash diet where all you drink is juice. You can't do that for the rest of your life. Most likely you end up binging and you end up eating more, and it's just not sustainable. So please be patient, be calm, be consistent and steady with it, and you will see results. Give yourself some time. Be honest with yourself about what's happening. Please do not make excuses. You will not get anywhere in this, I'm gonna say industry, but I'm not like in this industry. I enjoy fitness, it's a part of my life. I'd like it to be my career, but you're not, excuses, there's no place for those. There's no place for excuses. I've talked to a lot of guys that are just like, well, I just can't. Well, genetics. Well, all this thing, my genetics aren't this. Genetics, just get out of the way. Hard work beats genetics every day of the year. Just stop. Stop lying to yourself. Be honest with yourself about where you're at and honestly what you need to do in order to improve. Following the things that I've talked about earlier, like the meal plan, and actually following it and exercising and things like that. Guys, you can do this if you're an overweight guy, if you're an overweight gal, if you're an underweight guy, if you're an underweight gal, and you want to make a change in your physique. I promise you can do it. It's possible. You just need to know how, and you need to realize that it's you're in control. So it's cause and effect. If you look a certain way, that's an effect of what you're doing, what you're putting into your body, what you're eating, what your activity level is, how you're training. It's all cause and effect, okay? So you can gain weight, you can lose weight. I promise you, I've experienced it. I've done that, and I used to think that I couldn't. I promise you, I was exactly where you're at right now mentally with thinking that you just can't do it. I promise you, you can. Just take it slow. Just start simple. The biggest factor here is we want to create habits of consistency. So if you're watching videos and you're getting pumped and psyched about going and exercising, and then you just go out this next week and you just crash diet, and you wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym for 2 hours before work with like cold turkey, and you just start, that's not sustainable. It's gonna be very difficult for you to continue doing that if out the gate you just completely destroy yourself. Please, it's more important that you consistently do it each and every day than it is that you see results immediately right away. So please take it easy. You can do this. I promise you, you can do this. I'm gonna say this in a bold way, but try to understand what I mean. You're not special in the sense that your body is not as messed up as you think it is. You're not as incapable of gaining or losing weight as you think you are. It just requires practice. The disciplines and the skills to do that just requires practice. That's all it requires, and it requires consistency. So start small, do little things here or there, be consistent with them, and continually try to build up. And I promise you, you can gain weight or you can lose weight. I promise you, you can change. Give yourself time to change in a healthy way. I love you guys. If you've watched this video, thank you so much. Thanks for listening to my rant. Stay tuned. Right now we're in the process of prepping for a competition in April. It's going really well. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys will join us. Much love. Love you guys.